Hello, everyone. It is Comic News. I am Duke, and I'm here with...
Captain Logan. Hello, how are you?
Yes, for those curious, Manos is taking a short break from making videos and YouTube for a little bit. Personal issues of his, and we'll let him deal with that. Our thoughts were with him. He's probably going to have something funny to say about Ninja Turtles eventually.
I'm sure he will, yeah.
Because the thing is... a few people asked me why we didn't bring that up in the last show, because that was during that week. I literally found out about it 5 seconds after we finished recording.
Oh, that sucks, because that was the big thing that week.
And then, well, it just got announced like that day, apparently, but I was completely unaware of it. And Manos said, like, we recorded for like an hour, dude. I don't want to do anymore. Me too. We'll wait till next time. Which, with how sporadic the show's been lately, could have been anywhere from a week to next year. The next Q&A is when we would bring it up. Again, personal life and college. What fun it gives me. But yeah, he'll be back, and I have Cap. You people have been yelling at me to bring him back.
Oh, well, thanks, viewers of Duke.
Yes.
It's nice to be back. I love being on this show. It's been a long time, so hi, everybody. I'm Captain Logan, and I'm going to help talk about the news.
This isn't an eHarmony profile. This is technically a podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. All right. Okay. I'll try. Hey, I like taking long walks around my apartment. And,
I have a Batlift collection. It's great.
And I have a bat. You know, that's actually kind of sad. Like some Trekkies have a Batlift. I have a collection of bat. You're not wrong. If 3 constitutes a collection, I have a collection of Batlift.
I think that constitutes a collection, but then again, you and me obviously have a giant collection of comics. Well, trades for me, but
yeah. Do you have very many flats at all, or is it like all trades?
I do have some. I have Red Knight, anything I get from Free Comic Book Day, and because my mom is awesome, for Valentine's Day, she got me a year subscription to Green Lantern.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
She thought it was just like some fan magazine. She didn't realize it was a comic book subscription.
Oh, okay, sure.
But I obviously love it, and the best part, I actually got the start of the new arc.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yes,
and also the Tick issue I bought you.
I was about to bring that up next.
Oh, okay.
It's here somewhere. Here's the thing: I have all my trades on a bookshelf, a bunch of stuff on top of it. I keep all my floppies in my drawer, in one of my dresser drawers that I reserve for crap. Like, you open it up, you'll see comics, you'll see some plastic sleeves I have for trades, a couple keychains, lantern rings, just a bunch of miscellaneous bullcrap. So you know where to look when you try to steal stuff from me in my bedroom. Look there, because there's totally valuable stuff in it, as long as you consider a white lantern ring valuable.
See, the beauty of it is, if anybody even figured out where I live, they still would have pause to come over and try to steal my stuff, because all my weapons are right next to the front door.
Yes. The only thing I have is like I said, I have a couple plastic lantern rings. Oh, and my pimp hat.
I guess if you put all of them on your fingers and punch someone really hard, that would probably hurt and would make indentions of very amusing things on their face.
Or break the rings, and I don't want to do that. It took me forever to find these damn things.
Do you have all of them? Do you have the whole set?
I don't.
Which ones are you missing?
The sad part is I'm missing a green one.
Oh, that sucks. Vince has got one of those.
I'm missing a pink one and a purple one, which I've had 2 opportunities to buy, but since I said I could not get the complete set, I said screw it, I don't want them.
Now we're just talking about the plastic ones that came with the Blackest Night books, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I have all the other 6, and I'm missing 3. And
do you have a flash ring?
I do not.
Oh man. All right.
They never gave that out.
Oh man, you got that if you bought Flash #1 back during the Brightest Day days. And
I had a friend who tried getting me the ring, but they ran out when he tried getting the issue.
See, that's crazy, because the store I went to, I couldn't get rid of them. Like, they had a ton of them constantly.
Well, here's the thing.
They had so many that they were giving them out with. Sorry, they were giving them out with Flash #1, and then when Flashpoint started, they gave them out with Flashpoint too, just trying to get rid of them.
My store did the smart thing and sold a lot of them on eBay.
Oh, sure.
For a few, like for like $3 a pop and maybe like $1 shipping, depending on where they lived.
Yep, that's a good point. Sure, a lot of stores did that, I bet.
And I could have asked because they seemed like nice people, but I'm just like, I can survive without a plastic trinket because I have plenty of other ones.
I, too, have plenty of plastic trinkets. I don't know if you know this, but I have a Pez dispenser collection.
I have a Green Lantern Pez dispenser.
I have somewhere between 100 and 150 Pez dispensers. I haven't bought one.
You do realize now you're going to have to make a video about this, right? About your Pez dispensers. Crap. Sorry about that brief pause, technical difficulties. But like I was trying to say, you're going to have to do a video about your Pez dispenser collection now. You realize this, right? You've piqued curiosity.
Oh man, did that happen? All right, cool. And you know what? I'll even try, if I ever do it, I'll even try to make it more than just a recommends. Because I could just be like, I recommend Pez dispensers.
And then it cuts to this room full of Pez dispensers.
Yeah, I don't have an entire room full of them. That would be great.
That would be great. It'd be like a horror movie if someone accidentally walked into it not knowing they're there. Just these blank, emotionless faces smiling.
Yeah, because that's what they all look like. They all have exactly the same vacant expression. Especially the ones that aren't faces.
Yes.
You know, like my Death Star Pez dispenser has quite the vacant expression.
I can't sense any emotion from the Death Star. I don't know why.
What's going on with that?
That's just weird. So, let's get to that news.
Trust your feelings, Death Star.
You know them to be true.
Trust your feelings. Anyway.
Trust your feelings. Okay, so...
Death leads to anger. Wait. I don't think that is right. That is not.
And this is why Yoda could not defeat the Death Star. He tried talking to it.
Yeah, and then he just thought if he flipped around a whole bunch with a lightsaber, things would happen.
That didn't work. Okay, that is
Yoda in episode 2 forgot that he's not a pinball. He thought he was a pinball, and he just realized after that, oh yeah, that's right, I'm not a pinball.
I'm actually very old.
I'm a very old pinball, I am.
So, if you're paying attention, this is obviously comic news from The Rambling.
It is. Here we go.
What's
going on in the world, Duke?
Well, I want to clarify something, because apparently Michael Bay did something again.
Right.
I'm sorry, but that's really what it comes to now. Michael Bay did something. Everyone's gasp and scream. So, obviously you all know by now that, he's producing a Ninja Turtles movie, and he made a statement that he made two statements. One being that basically sums up that they're going to be aliens. And then two, the one that pissed me off, because the alien thing, I just said, okay, whatever. I knew this movie was going to suck, but you didn't have to, up front state it was going to suck. Then he said, calm down. That pissed me off.
Really? That bothered you?
I'm just like, okay, no. Because that just came off like a backhanded, oh, don't give me this crap again. No, because you keep giving us your crap.
I don't know, man. With the statement, and I'm not taking up for him by any means. I think the mistake he made was giving any information about it whatsoever this early.
That too.
And I mean, we really need to stop doing this in the day and age of the rampant fan craze on the internet. Why would you voluntarily give away too much information early when you know it's going to come out without even trying? You know what I mean? They're barely in pre-production. I don't know why you would start doing that this early, but I don't know. The way the statement came off to me was more like guys, don't worry, you just don't really know what we're doing. And I'm sure I'm not sure that's true. We don't know anything. I'm just saying that he said, hey, Eastman is involved and he's on board with this, and I mean, I don't know, that's the kind of thing that I think that he was right to say. So I'm not sure that
just initially I got over it. I got over it. Don't get me wrong, but at the beginning I'm just like, wow, don't you're not defensive at all. But
all right.
now that you bring it up, and it did come to me, I'm like, you have a point, but again,
what he should have done is he should have started off by apologizing for saying the obvious thing that would freak people out. You know what I mean? It was just a tactical error. Why would the first thing you mention about this movie is the thing that makes it sound like it's not what it used to be at all whatsoever?
Because he's Michael Bay and he doesn't think forward anymore.
He doesn't. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm pretty sure this scene will be great if the robot had giant testicles. I don't see any problem with that. This guy just goes. He doesn't stop. He just keeps going. That's the thing.
One of the turtles is going to have like a plaid bandana.
Yeah, well, and one of them's going to have...
Or they're all going to wear plaid bandanas to bed. Like they'll have bandana PJs.
And belts. They have to have color-coordinated belts.
Yes, with letters for their names on them.
Yes, that's... Splinter reads him a bedtime story.
And Splinter has a Superman S on his chest. He's like, no, it stands for Splinter.
I thought of this, Turtles. Quit laughing. I don't know. I'm just hoping that they bring in that goofy cow spaceship I saw in an Archie comic once. Because at this point, that makes about as much sense as the alien thing. I don't know why that keyed me off. I'm like, okay, that sounds ridiculous. And then I flash back to a scene of that cow head spitting them out. That's
Put it all back into perspective a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, because that's another thing. I'm like, the Ninja Turtles aren't exactly like high art when you really think about it.
Exactly. Yeah,
it was intended to be a parody. I'm like, wow, and I know people.
And let me say this real quick. That's precisely the reason that I keep saying I really think it's counterintuitive to throw millions and millions of dollars at it.
That too, because that just doesn't scream big Hollywood movie for some reason when you think about it. Because
no, it does. Well, what made the original live action film so charming was that they managed to do so much with very little. Is that you had a film that was very minimalistic for what it was, and when you and you seem to stifle creativity sometimes when you throw too much money at something that doesn't really need it. Ninja Turtles is something that's very difficult to bring on screen live action and make real, and so almost part of the fun in watching it is to see how you can make something come together with very little.
Amazing point. Now you're making me regret the opportunity I had to see that movie in a theater last year.
Oh, really? Because I would have done it.
I just couldn't get a ride, and it was like at 11 o'clock at night.
Ooh, man, that's sad. I would like to see that in theater again.
You know what's really weird? You know why they did that?
What's that?
That whole month at that theater was Corey Feldman month.
Oh, okay.
And obviously, since he's a voice of one of them, they also showed Stand By Me and Lost Boys.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like, yeah, the other weeks, and everyone, because this was before I discovered Lost Boys and realized how awesome it was. But so the only movie I was interested in was Ninja Turtles, like everyone else at school.
Yeah, right.
But another thing that was really bad about it was on a Thursday night. And I had a test Fridays too, so like. There's many signs why I shouldn't do this, but I want to. And I didn't, so whatever. So, Cap, you take this next one.
Well, didn't you want to mention the title thing?
Oh, yeah, that too.
That was kind of the news for this, wasn't it? No, that's good. I just wanted to mention that. So it's going to be just called Ninja Turtles. Is that a problem for you? Just in the principle, like forget the alien thing. Does Ninja Turtles bother you?
No, because that means I can differentiate this from the other movies.
Yeah, I think that there was an unfortunate missed opportunity that nobody could help. It makes me almost wish the 2007 movie hadn't been called TMNT, because I think that would have been a perfect name for this film. It's even not knowing what they're doing with it, because the one kind of really neat thing about it being a bazillions of dollar kind of film, even though I don't really like that's what's being done with it, is that it's so well known. It's such a big giant thing that started from nothing that you can give it an acronym name and everyone will see it.
Which is funny because I've seen people read the title at the movie theater, just not see the poster, just read it on a marquee and not know what the hell it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, and I don't mean just people walking by. I leave those people alone. I mean people I've known for a few years.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Who I think would know that for some reason, but they didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
I was a little depressed by that, going, "Oh God, I'm friends with you people."
Well, anyway, I don't know. I just think it would have been neat if you could have called a movie like this that started from a total underground comic, TMNT, and have it be a $1 bazillion kind of movie, and everybody would see it, regardless of the fact that it's an acronym film. Mm-hmm. But alas, we don't have that. So I mean, I guess I'm kind of okay with it, as long as they're still teenagers. I don't want them to be 30.
We're in our 40s, living in the basement, dudes. That'd be a fun line to hear. So now can we move on to the next
Splinter's like, get out of my basement.
Get a job.
Get a job. Well, anyway.
They can't. They try and get a job. It just doesn't seem to work out for some reason. I don't know why. And they don't even bring it up. They're just completely dumbfounded by the fact that they won't hire them based on their personality.
Oh, it's just their personality. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're giant, walking, talking turtles.
Yeah, not even April brings it up. They just accept the fact that they think people are just being jerks to them.
Okay, moving on. You want me to take the next one?
Please.
What is the... I'm sorry, I don't have mine in order. What is the next
one?
The
Roger Corman Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah, okay. So you found the same article I found on that. The prints for the old Fantastic Four movie, the old 1994 movie, got destroyed. And what's funny about this is that this didn't happen recently, as far as I can tell. It looks like this happened as soon as Fox got a hold of the rights for the Fantastic Four movie franchise in the first place. And according to the person on this forum who was trying to get the rights to make DVDs of this thing, who talked to the people who originally made it, it was I forget. Well, yeah, Corman. He was like, yeah, they just destroyed it because they didn't like it, and so it's gone. So the only way you'll ever be able to see it from now on, of course, is the old bootlegs running around. And I think that was a huge missed opportunity for Fox back when they made the original Fantastic Four film. I don't know why they didn't put that movie out and then as a tie-in, go ahead and release that thing on DVD, just direct to DVD and let people buy it, because they would have made money with it.
Other companies did that with all the Captain America movies that exist before First Avenger.
Yeah, exactly.
They put out the Red Brown ones as a double feature a few months back.
And people bought it.
Well, probably because someone told me they, like, on the back in giant letters, they promoted Christopher Lee's name larger than the actor who played Captain America.
Yeah, that's true.
Which was hilarious.
My hands on that, and they did, yeah.
Which I find funny because I've watched them when First Avenger came out. Sci-Fi brilliantly aired all those movies, and I watched I watched the second one, and I was completely caught off guard that he was in it. What, Count Dooku? What are you doing here?
Oh, Christopher Lee's in all kinds of stuff.
I know, but I don't know, because, I know him.
All kinds of weird stuff.
He was in Howling 2. I've seen that. Ironically, with the same actor who played Captain America in that.
Have you ever seen The Return of Captain Invincible?
No.
He's in that. That is I want to say it was made in 1984? I may be wrong. It's early 80s. It's a low-budget B movie. I'm gonna have to review it eventually. It's a superhero film. It's a superhero musical, and Christopher Lee sings about alcohol. It's very funny.
I think I've seen the clip of him singing about alcohol.
That's what it's from. I've got it. My wife loves that movie. I've had to sit through that thing 5 or 6 times, and it's ridiculous. But it's funny. It's good. Well, it's not good, but it's funny.
Have you ever seen the 94 Fantastic Four movie?
I've seen bits and pieces of it, yeah.
I've only seen the scene where Ben Grimm realizes he's the Thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most unintentionally hilarious thing I've ever seen. Because he sounds like Patrick from SpongeBob. What have you done, Reed? And the best part is I found the version I found was edited, and it, like, when he started yelling, it put the words Oscar clip under him.
That's awesome.
What have you done, Reed? Oh, God. That was amazing.
I'll probably go ahead and put that on my short list for Rewind pretty soon since this news came out. I've been meaning to review it, and I just keep forgetting about it. So I'll probably do that in the next couple of months.
And you'll never be able to have a DVD of it to cross off your giant list of stuff you don't got.
Isn't that sad? That's true. I mean, like you know, you can look at bootlegs, but yeah, I would have liked to have seen a crisp copy of it.
It probably still wouldn't have looked crisp. They would have just like taken a really bad regular print they had and didn't do a dang thing to fix it. It would like turn your nice digital TV into a TV from the 90s. Because I've had that, and don't ask me why, because I can't explain this. I have the first season of Xena on DVD. Mm-hmm. And I put that on the TV upstairs, our big 27-inch TV. It is grainy as hell.
Oh yeah, that was a very grainy show. You're right.
Yeah,
especially the early seasons. Yeah, I watched all that when it was on.
And it stretches out the picture too, so I'm like, this just doesn't feel right at all. And then I put it on the TV I have in my room, which is a pretty old tube television, and it looks way better. So that was another odd story for me. So the third time in a row now, show to show, we're going to talk about Spider-Man.
Oh, you've done this now 3 times.
Yeah, because obviously with the breaks, I keep covering the Wait, we forgot the song.
Oh yeah, it's
Big
Marvel teaser. Ah.
Yes. So we see a Spider-Man. What a goddamn shock!
Yeah. It's like oh man, I'm gaining so much. I know that it has Spider-Man in it, and that there might be more of them because there's a E in the word.
Yeah, and not just the one in Spider. This is the most well thought out advertisement. Sometimes
I know. And have you noticed something? DC never does this.
They rarely do. In fact,
you ever noticed this? Have you guys ever done a vague DC trailer or teaser? Has it ever happened?
Kind of, but here's the thing: it's usually just promoting a cover for something they haven't solicited yet. But
it's like when they're ready to tell you about something, they give you actual information.
Yeah.
Usually. And I'm not trying to play like a battle between the two really, because I mean, like, you know, I'm actually liking a lot of Marvel stuff more than DC some these days. But I'm just saying that, like, I think that in a lot of ways they advertise better.
Yeah, to put this in perspective for you, because you bring it up, I've covered more vague teasers for Image and Dark Horse, stuff that I don't cover that much on this show.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like, cause, and this is just personal preference for the people who keep asking. I just don't read enough Image. I'm getting more in the Dark Horse now.
Okay. Sure.
So I tend to just not pay attention. And plus, I never see any, like, that much news from those companies poke out. IDW a little bit more because obviously all their licensed stuff, there's a built-in fan base there, so you'll see it somewhere.
And they have, now that they're doing more monthlies and they've got a lot more readership, you get a lot more news from them because more people care.
Exactly. Because I think about it, it's like Marvel, DC, they get, I don't know, I guess you could say they get a fair amount of coverage here, that mostly them when I do it. IDW, and then Dark Horse and Image share the third spot, and then maybe a miscellaneous odd story about a meth head who buys a lot of comics will show up. That every once in a while we have to feature one of those to make it interesting.
Meth head spends $15 million on comic books.
Have you seen us cover that?
No, I haven't.
Well, me and Manos just kept saying, "Wow, the DC New 52 is that successful."
That's great. Well, anyway.
Yeah, and plus...
So is there, I'm sorry, you might have seen more stuff than I did. Do we have any information at all besides the teaser posters about this thing?
No.
Like, do we know who's writing it? Do we know...
Oh,
Bendis is
involved, the creative team from Ultimate's doing it, which was the thing that led to... Oh, you can talk.
No, I'm sorry. I heard one person theorize, one of our viewers, I can't remember who. I heard somebody theorized that maybe they were going to do something with Miles Morales, like in the regular universe.
Well, Tory GNR1, because there was that first promo where it was like two different logos cut and then put together.
Oh, okay.
He pointed out
I missed that one.
He pointed out that like the cover they did, like the bag cover they did for the last issue of Peter Parker Ultimate Spider-Man, and the bag cover from the first issue of the Miles Morales series, he realized that the two spider logos on them are the ones cut in half and put together for that vague teaser, which led people to believe it was going to
ultimate thing and not even in regular continuity.
Yeah, that was one thing that got brought up. And again, this is Marvel, who knows what they're truly thinking. And that Spider-Man in this image we have up, you could say that's anybody.
You could say that's anybody, yeah. Well, it looks more like really old school Spider-Man than anything. I mean, it doesn't even look like anything current.
Yeah, because it's black. There's no.
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking about the one that just came out.
That's what I'm talking about. There's no blue in his costume on that.
Oh, I see what I'm sorry. I thought you meant the shadowy black figure.
That one's really black. I just noticed that.
Exactly. I was like, it's really black. I'm like, it's an outline. Of course, it's black.
Sorry,
okay,
I had a slow moment. Captain Logan had to help me.
No, that was a slow moment on my part. I was being a moron. Anyway, here's I'm shooting in the dark, and this probably has nothing to do with anything, especially with Tory GNR1's smart notice about the logos. But the first thing where my head went was with the popularity of 2099 lately in the video games. You think that's possible?
Manos kind of brought that up.
Oh, did he? Okay.
It could. Again, we have no idea.
Yeah. Well, I've been very surprised that they haven't done anything with 2099 since those video games.
The closest they did was to celebrate the 10th anniversary of it. In 2009, they did a mini-series called Time Storm that no one heard about. That no one knew about.
I didn't know about that. Wow. All right.
That got promoted less than the Cosmic line, which even at its peak got very little promotion from Marvel.
Wow. Okay.
And you could probably find it in trade if anyone wants to find it. But I just, even before I did comic news, I followed small stories like that all the time, and I didn't read it myself, so I'm just as hypocritical as a lot of other people who were skipping out on it. But yeah, I tend to notice these things, and that's kind of why I started doing this. Too much free time.
Well, you want to move on?
Yeah. Hey, a logo for something.
Yeah, man. Man of Steel logo. Looks fantastic.
It looks good. It's just a logo, so I'm not losing my mind.
Well, no, of course, but, looks good. Well, I'll tell you, though, I wasn't a huge fan of the logo from the last Superman movie.
Again,
from Superman Returns.
I have the same...
When they released that.
I have the same feeling on both those logos.
Oh, really?
I think they look fine, but they're not, trying to, it's not like it's motivating me more for the movie.
Oh, no, not at all.
It's just a logo. Yay! I'll see it everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it on Mountain Dew cans come June.
Yeah, it's not as big of a deal as when we had... I don't even know if this was ever a big deal now that I'm thinking about it, but the Batman Begins logo, when it was first, when we first saw that, was so different from anything we'd seen before. I mean, what can you really do to the Superman logo to make it look very much different? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can do a whole bunch of different kinds of bats. The Superman thing, it's got to be in that shape, and it's got to have an S in it, and it's got to connect up in the top and the bottom. You know what I mean? There's not a lot you can do to it. But bats, you can do 100 things with bats.
There's a video that shows the evolution of the Bat logo. The Superman logo's only been because there's some early ones that look completely different, but other than that, yeah, it's stayed the same for decades, just tweaked here and there. So that's why I'm just like, okay, they did this.
And this is kind of edgy, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but I still like it.
Yeah, again, if it had barbed wire and flames around it, we'd be losing our minds.
I want it on a T-shirt. I'll wear it. I like it.
Actually, if we're talking about cool Superman logos, I have this gray T-shirt with the logo with like eagle wings and like biker stuff all around it. It's awesome.
See, if that was this logo, you'd freak out. You'd be like, "Oh my god!"
Of course,
he's gonna be riding a motorcycle and he's gonna have a flaming head. And
oh no, 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 no! Nick Cage is not coming back.
But he always wanted to be Superman.
He already named his son Kal-El. He started his weird prophecy.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm convinced that he's going to like pretend to be Jor-El and record messages for his kid. Wouldn't that be great? You're just like, no, especially in his teenage years, all of a sudden, Nick Cage's head pops up out of nowhere and tells him what to do.
The kid opens up a Christmas present one year and it's a crystal. He's like, what the hell is this?
Oh, just put it in the hole in your room.
Nicolas Cage is like has this really booming voice. He's like, put it in your room.
My son. And then he doesn't tell him to do anything cool. He just tells him to do his chores and stuff like that. Mow the yard, fella. Use the Kryptonian lawnmower.
My son, you can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat.
What's that girl doing here? I made my day.
Please turn off your lava lamp when you're not in your room.
For the last time, the cable box is costing us so much money. Turn it off. It's just him reminding him to do simple tasks.
Yeah.
He's beginning to I'm beginning to question the relationship with my father. I heard that. So, let's move to the most originally titled TV show ever, Arrow.
Well, that's a CW kind of title, isn't it?
Oh, yes, and if Manos was here, he'd complain for 2 solid minutes about that again. Because I actually talked to him about this a little bit when I showed him this picture, which everyone's seen. He said it looks good, but they need to put green back in the title.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah,
it's just like, God, that sounds like something. That sounds like a 90s thing they would have tried to do, right? Just like, we'll make it Arrow. Like with Joe, when they did Joe.
It's edgy and awesome because we took the green out, but you know what it is. And what's dumb about that with this is that even with Smallville and everything, Green Arrow is still a very second-string character.
Very. It doesn't help that he can't get a book to stay consistent to save his life.
Ew.
Like Crawl left, and a big thing about it was Anna Senti was going to come on. I saw some hype for that. And then when her first issue came out, the anger rose out.
I didn't read it. I meant to, and I forgot about it.
I saw a bunch of people just tear that. Some people hated this worse than the original, like the start of the new series. And a good chunk of people hated that too.
The thing people need to remember is that even though they put another writer on it, she still probably didn't have a whole lot of control over it. And
that too, and not to mention,
you could tell from the interview I did with Krull that he didn't seem. I mean, he was very nice to DC with everything that he said, but you could tell that he seemed a little frustrated with. I mean, Green Arrow was the book that he chose to leave when he was offered a Superman Beyond because he had things he wanted to do, and they didn't let him do it because he had to do this relaunch thing. And so I would imagine that it's possible, and again, I didn't read the issue, but it's possible that all the stuff they hated about it still didn't have much to do with the writer.
That's a very strong point.
Seemed like there was a lot of very like DC mandated stuff going on with that book.
Yeah, and I don't know, because one thing that was weird was because pretty much since they made him get married, they just kept this downhill decision-making process with that character. Okay, now we'll make him in jail, but also when he's in jail, he's still wearing his costume.
Right. And then you find out that at that jail, that's just actually what they have all the inmates wear. Just they all have that.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw someone review not Green Arrow directly, but Rise of Arsenal, which is a beautiful mixed mess from what I keep hearing. But there was
I didn't read that, but I liked Fall of Green Arrow quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie, I did like it, but I read it completely out of context. I mean, that's where I jumped on. So
yeah, Cry for Justice was. If you're wondering what was going on with that, Cry for Justice, which is in its own nutshell a giant failure, spun off into ruining Red Arrow to a lot of people because that series just. Because we're on until the first issue was good, and then when you get to the third issue where he's hopped up on heroin, defending a dead cat, thinking it's his recently deceased daughter.
What? All right, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And here's the really stupid.
Say no more.
here's the really stupid part about this. Heroin doesn't make you hallucinate. So not only is he having these stupid hallucinations, it's for the wrong reason. He's not on the kind of drug that does that. It's a depressant.
He's just so depressed that he thinks a cat. Oh.
The great thing that came out of that was there's an issue of Supergirl where she goes to Bizarro World and she meets the Bizarro Justice League. When Red Arrow shows up, yes. Now, after explaining that, and here's the sad thing about this: some people might miss the Bizarro Red Arrow with cats for weapons, but whatever. You'll find that later. So, let's see. What do we got next? Actually, we didn't even talk about the Image, did we?
No, we really didn't. We were just talking about Green Arrow in general.
And J.T. Kroll, which you could hear an interview on Geek Pollution.
Oh, thanks for that quick plug. Yes, go to the most recent episode of Comic Book Late Night. What do you think of the costume in general? I've heard some complaints about the bow, where people were like, "Yeah, he should have a compound bow or a crossbow or something." Like he's got in 2000 in normal a regular 2012 these days, it doesn't really make sense that he'd run around with that.
Well, I have one thing to say: he could buy more. He's rich.
Yeah, that's true.
He can buy a multitude of anything that involves shooting it. He could buy Nerf guns.
No, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome, defeating people, especially because Nerf guns are awesome now. They've always been awesome, but now they're just amazing.
Yeah, Nerf is the best thing ever. Yeah, we should.
I honestly really like this costume. I think it looks really good. If you're gonna shank me, people out there, I'm sorry, but I think it looks really good.
I like that he has a beard.
I can't tell. It's really dark.
Or I think that he has a beard. Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, no, he's got a beard. Clearly, he's got a goatee at least. Clearly,
my beard's manlier.
Oh, all right.
I'm throwing that gauntlet down.
Mine's actually not. I'll say that. I like that beard. That's good. I wish I could do that. That looks good. Anyway,
and he has a hood. I don't know why. Yay. I like him better with a hood.
I do too. I like it. I think it's fine.
That, and I'm pretty sure wearing that hat just won't fly for most people. A hood, wearing the hood makes him, I don't know, seem more serious. Having the Robin Hood hat, well, saying it out loud, he won't fly.
It's more practical because he can use it kind of like a mask.
Yeah.
It's just more practical.
Again, perpetuating the fact that we'll never see a Domino mask ever again, I think.
Yeah, probably not.
Especially the way it's done in comics, which, from what I've seen, that's white see-through fabric. Someone explained that to me, and I never thought of that.
But I like that they kind of committed to this, where at least he has something very reminiscent of an actual superhero costume. Mm-hmm. It clearly looks like something where it's a lot of pieces thrown together. So they're trying to be kind of realistic with it, where it's like it's not one piece. I mean, it's a jacket with some different pants with some gloves. It's all a bunch of different pieces put together. But at least it's a costume. What I hope is that they allow for other costumes in their show.
Yeah, they cast Black Canary, which again they could.
Oh, simply... did they? I didn't. But they're not calling her Black Canary, right?
I think I don't know, because they're not even calling Ollie Green Arrow. I keep hearing.
Oh, they're not.
Well, all the promotion I'm seeing, they just keep stating Oliver Queen, so that could mean anything. But
that can mean you don't know that.
I mean, a lot of I'm doing the same thing people brought up when they announced Catwoman was going to be in Dark Knight Rises. A lot of the promotion kept saying Selena Kyle, Kyle.
Yeah, sure. I wonder if she ever gets even called Catwoman in the movie.
It's probably like a stupid offhand reference that makes no sense. Wouldn't that be funny?
Hopefully not.
I'm joking, but that'd be funny. What is that Catwoman doing here? And then whoever says that looks at the camera.
Well, you want to move on?
Yeah, also, if anyone wants to know what I think about the show, it's still just a pilot. Who knows what could happen?
Yeah, sure.
Like, they said a Booster Gold pilot was happening a few months ago that we didn't cover because I was on that hiatus. And we've heard nothing from that since. So...
Yeah. And this is the network that made the Aquaman pilot, and it didn't get picked up. So this could, I mean, and then this is a different network. But then Wonder Woman didn't get picked up. So who knows if this even happens?
Wonder Woman's justified, though.
Yeah, it was bad.
I haven't seen the Aquaman one. I want to, but here's the thing. I don't torrent that much, and there's two ways to get it technically, but I can't do them for two reasons. One, the first method is you have to get the Blu-ray of Crisis on Two Earths.
Yeah.
That is randomly a bonus feature.
Yeah, and that's super random. I mean...
They also put like an old Wonder Woman pilot on there, too. And I don't have a Blu-ray player. And two, they put it with the complete series collection of Smallville.
Yeah, and I'm not buying that.
I'm not buying that for two reasons. A, it's expensive, and B, I picked it up at Best Buy once and said to myself, this is a murder weapon. This is extremely heavy.
Yeah,
This shouldn't.
But I mean, I already have 7 of the 10 seasons. Like, I don't want to spend more money on that show than I have to.
Yeah, I hear that. And here's the funny part. And I said if I was silly enough and had the money, I would totally do this. They had a special promotion at Best Buy that came with an action figure of Clark in the red jacket.
Oh my God!
And I said, I want to find that on eBay and give it to Capt. To continue the string of me giving you awful things.
Well, the closest thing I've ever come to though I really don't like it, the closest thing I've ever come to complaining about the costume, I don't know if anybody's ever really caught it, but in the intro to Counting Crypto Freaks, I show that at the end of showing the 10 seasons, and then the point where the count goes, ah!
Yeah, I got that joke.
That's where I show that. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there.
And
that's how I feel about it.
And everyone points out you should put the cover to season 10 there now since it's out. I've seen people do that. On
oh, really? Have people mentioned that?
Well, not like complaining, just pointing it out. But I'm like, no, if he had the jacket, he could do that. But the jacket, that's the joke. I love that.
Yeah, the jokes, I think the joke's maybe a little too good to do that. But, well, anyway.
Someone asked me if I had the opportunity.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. By the way, if someone asked me if I had the opportunity to buy that jacket, and they said, would I do it? And I'm like, if I really had the money to burn, I probably would. just to make myself laugh. I would never wear it outside. I'd wear it to like a comic book convention, because that's one of those things where if you try and wear this outside, you're going to get hurt.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You know, I wore a black shirt with a giant blue Superman symbol on it once on a video with black pants, a black button-up shirt, or I'm sorry, not a black button-up shirt, my trench coat. And I shot a video that way, and a bunch of people left comments and were like, or at least a couple, and they were like, Cap, you look like season 9 Clark. What are you doing, dude? I was like, and then I looked at the footage again, and I was like, oh God, I totally did too. I didn't even think about it when I did that. I was like, why am I wearing a trench coat with it?
It was subliminal messaging from the show for you making fun of it all the time.
I guess so, yeah. It was like, it was getting back at me somehow.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I know. Every now and again, I look back on that, I'm like, what was I thinking?
You weren't. That's the point we just made.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Captain, beware!
Yes. Beware of the Batman. You know, when I showed this to my wife, so we got this new teaser poster for Beware the Batman. When I showed this to my wife, she said, they ought to just make a villain called Beware and make that like the big bad for the show.
That'd be cool.
And I was like, that's a great idea. Wow. But anyway, so this is what it looks like. It's we're getting really CGI happy right now with these shows.
I gotta tell you, man, bothering me with Green Lantern. I know some people are curious what I think of that show. I've been liking it. I've been really liking it. And the CG push with that.
I've not watched much of it, but I'm hearing nothing but good things about it.
The only complaints I have is not that the main voices for Hal and Kilowog are bad. It's just that I've heard way better from the animated movies recently.
Oh, okay.
I think they're good. It's just that because I can't remember his name, but he voiced Spider-Man on Spectacular Spider-Man. That's Hal Jordan.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Here's the thing. He played Wally West in Crisis on Two Earths, which seems to be an odd thing we keep bringing up tonight.
Yeah, right.
And he fits way better with that. That's the thing. I'm like, you've played the perfect DC character. This doesn't make any sense. Again, I think he plays him pretty well. I think Nathan Fillion's probably the best. No, he ties with David Boreanaz.
Yeah, but I mean, they wouldn't be able to afford him on a regular cartoon show. So with Beware the Batman, there's one thing that I'm liking about all the solicitations with this. The rest of it, I could take or leave, but and some of it just sounds goofy. But I do like the idea of having a show where Alfred finally gets out and does things. I like that. I like the idea of, he's a former secret agent and he actually gets out and he has a gun and he does. I don't know about him having a gun, but him getting out and doing things is kind of cool. Other than that, though, man, it seems like they're just trying too hard to reinvent the wheel once again.
Yeah. I haven't hated every Batman show since animated. I know you're really not that fond of the Batman, but I thought the last two seasons were actually pretty good.
Understatement. Well, I didn't watch them because I didn't like that show.
I think the first few seasons are pretty bad because they're like, we're going to focus on the gadgets. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, it would have been okay if it was still a smart show, but I'm sorry, but it wasn't. It seemed like the point of the early seasons was, let's see how uninteresting we can make all the villains' origins. So it's like, it was change for the sake of change. That's what I didn't like about that show.
I liked the first Clayface they brought up. I thought it was really cool, because there was an arc built to it. There was an arc.
I will say that I actually did the only one that I kind of liked at all, and I don't remember much about it now because it's been years, but I kind of liked the way they did the ventriloquist.
That was it. Here's the thing. I remember him from that more than anything, because I've read little with the character, and I don't remember much from the animated series as a kid.
Yeah, and that's what I know of him. I've probably ever read him in the comics besides some No Man's Land. But I didn't watch any of the later stuff with that show, and I heard a lot of people, including Eric, say, the end of that show got better and better because they were trying to make it more and more like the old animated series. And like the point of that show in the first place was, let's get as far away from that as we can. And so it's proving my point that they had to get closer to the show that came before it got any good.
You're not wrong, good sir. You are not wrong.
So who cares if the last two seasons are good if they're just trying to mimic what came before it? I've got that show. You see what I'm saying? So
I understand you. I understand you.
Anyway, sorry, we shouldn't be talking about that. We should talk about Beware the Batman.
I don't know. I think this cover, this vague poster, I guess we could say, looks cool. We found one.
No, it looks all right.
Yeah, it's a simple, he's running towards you, which is done everywhere.
Yeah, sure.
Every promotional image of Doctor Who is like that.
Yeah.
And I try to give every comic book show a try. I'm giving Ultimate Spider-Man a try after this. I DVR'd it.
Oh, man.
Even though I'm extremely mixed about listening to Drake Bell.
Yeah, well,
that's just a personal childhood thing because I hate that show.
The clips I've seen, it looks awful, but
okay. You know what? I was kind of lukewarm on it. Then I saw this 5-minute behind the scenes thing. I don't know why, but it got me really interested in checking it out. Everyone seemed really happy to work on it, and which could mean anything. But I don't know. It kind of changed my mind a little. Drake Bell's the only thing. I just have a personal vendetta against him. That's it.
Okay.
A lot of the shows on Nickelodeon, of the last decade, really have annoyed the living hell out of me. Even as a stupid teenager who should love that stuff. And now, we're going to talk about something very, very American that's taking place in England. The irony has not stopped me. They're starting another spin-off mini of American Vampire. Woo! I loved the first one they did, and I loved the series as a whole. So that's cool. But then I thought of something, because the last time you did comic news, not the Q&A, but the time before that, you and me made a joke that they're going to do like a spin-off for every country.
Oh, yeah. Is that what's happening?
Technically, no. It has to do with characters we've seen. Basically, what I am so blanking on the name of the organization right now that I feel bad. Oh, the Vessels, who are these vampire hunters. We're gonna focus on those characters, which is fine by me. They're fucking awesome. But yeah, of course, Scott Snyder's doing it, and Dustin Nguyen, that's how I always hear his name pronounced. He's doing the art on it.
Yeah, and he's one of my favorite artists.
I love him too. Not only because me and him share the same name.
Well, he was a lot of the reason I got into Batman Beyond in the first place, and I love his art.
You know what's weird? This may sound odd, but I remember me and a buddy were annoyed by the variant cover he did for the first issue of the Batman Beyond miniseries. Because when we first saw it,
I don't even remember what the variant looks like. I mean, I have the regular cover, so I don't know. But
well, it was actually the main cover. But
oh, I think you said variant.
I did, but I think it was actually the main cover. I don't know. I think for some reason
Batman Beyond like on a red background, like it was really generic.
Well, no, it was like the city, but like in black and white, like colored black and white, no, red and white. But the thing I remember about it is
that's right. Yeah.
We thought it looked. He looked like
in the background.
Like when we looked at it, we thought it looked like he was melting. He just didn't look like the way he's usually drawn, really slender. He kind of looked bulkier than usual.
Oh, you're right. Well, he's got a six pack, and you never used to see him like that.
Yeah, I know. Like I've obviously got no. In fact, I remember at one point we made a video about it, and about a day later, I'm like, I'm an idiot. Why do I complain about these things? I didn't even want to do it. He wanted to do it. And he was like, we're not posting on my channel. I was like, oh, I see. This is a big plan to make me look stupid. I see. Because I don't do that enough on my own. But yeah, it's going to be based in England. I knew they said they were going to do this, but this was officially announced a few weeks back. And I fucking love American Vampire, so let me talk about things I want to talk about. Do you care at all? I know you read the series on and off.
I don't anymore. I mean, I've read 2 or 3 issues of it. I'd like to get into it. I'm just reading so much stuff. I just haven't bothered. Since I used to work at a comic shop. It's just been a while since I've looked at it. So
yeah.
I need to just break down and buy him a trade and catch up and start reading it. I mean, I mean, I love Snyder. I plug Snyder constantly.
Everyone does because
I'm just not good. Well, because he's that good. Yeah, and I mean, like, part of the thing is horror has never been a priority for me. I like the stuff. It's very what I've read of it. I said 2 or 3 issues. I read a little bit more than that, probably 5 or 6. And the storytelling is great. It's just horror's not a priority for me, so I put other things ahead of it. That's all.
The thing is, the bigger deal to me because this was the first Vertigo series I ever jumped on with the first trade, and I just ate it up instantly.
Yeah.
So I'm just obsessed with this. I like this series more than Batman because I don't know why. Because more people talk about Batman than that for obvious reasons because it's Batman.
Yeah. We
talk about Batman all the time because he's Batman. So again, hypocrite. So, yeah, I
think it's amazing that I'll say this. I think it's amazing that it's so popular that they keep doing all these spin-offs with it. That's kind of unusual, especially for Vertigo.
Definitely.
It seems like there's constantly 2 American Vampire titles. That's very cool. That's very unusual.
Well, this is only the second one, and they're launching around the same time they launched the
I thought it was the third.
No, this is.
It was a,
no, this
sure?
is. Yeah, this is the second spin-off.
What was the other called?
Survival of the Fittest. That was the first one.
Okay, I thought there was one before that. I'm sorry. See, I'm not up on this series. I just don't know.
Maybe there is, and I'm lying to you, Capt.
No. I think you're right.
No, I am right. I'm just screwing with you, as I tend to do. So
it's true. I feel very screwed with.
I'm a mean host.
But I'm used to it, so it's okay.
Yeah. This is what happens when me and Capt go in conversations, because he can't tell when I'm joking half the time. You haven't admitted this to me.
Yeah, but see, I'm very used to it, because worse than that is the cage of rabid squirrels you always open on me at the beginning of every show.
It's to make sure you're vigilant and paying attention.
No, I know. And I mean, like, I have to really focus, because there's usually one, like, on my chin and
I'm not telling you how to. I'm not telling you how to stop them. That's all on you, man.
Yeah, I've tried everything too, dude. The super glue thing is not working, by the way. It's not.
Trust me, you should have seen what we did to Capt. We made him fight the robot from Judge Dredd.
Oh man, see, I bet super glue would work on that guy.
Well, I mean, Rob Schneider defeated that fucking robot.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But for some reason, Capt was just so intimidated by its crappy 90s animatronics, so he just didn't want to fight it. He had to, like, use a logic problem on it, which, being from that movie, I assumed he just said, what's 2 plus fish, and had it just fight it out.
What is 2 plus fish?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
He thought of that, and it worked.
Blew up Duke's brain, too. Yay.
I had one to begin with?
Yeah, unfortunately, your destroyed brain is still not helping me get rid of these squirrels.
Personal problems. You just come here with your personal problems about how I keep making ravenous squirrels attack you, and and how I keep sending you awful movies. Well, I've sent you one so far, but I really want to make this a recurring thing.
Yeah, I know. You bring it up all the time like it's this thing that always happens. Like I've got a shelf of them.
Yeah, there will be a day when that happens, I swear. And it's really bad too, because
films from Duke. I'll label it like it's in the '60s Batcave. Awful films from Duke.
It's really funny when you people, like, in reality, because I sent him that, and then as a reply for Christmas, he sent me an issue of The Tick.
Something cool. Yeah,
he sent me something great. I'm like, I mean, yeah, I knew he didn't mean it to be mean, but I feel mean. and then like, because I got that. I think I got that the same day I realized that store had Brainiac attacks. And I'm like, oh, I know what I'm sending him next. Ooh, I think this is the thing Captain Logan sent me. Crap, now he's nice to me.
Well, to be fair, the difference between Invincible Iron Man and Brainiac Attacks, now I've seen one and not the other, but the difference between those two things is that with a title like Invincible Iron Man, you could have an expectation for it to maybe be pretty good. Something called Brainiac Attacks sounds bad. Just in the first place, it sounds bad.
You may have a point there.
We should have learned from the Star Wars prequels that putting attacks in the title of a film is never a good idea.
I wonder what happens if we change Star Trek 2 to Attack of Khan.
Attack of Khan. It would be terrible. It would be like if the new franchise.
The title would just ruin it somehow.
That's if the new franchise did Khan, that's what they'd call it. It would be Star Trek 2: Attack of Khan. Like, name a brilliant film that has attack in the title, right?
You're right.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Oh yeah, man. I'm gonna do a literary analysis on that film. You just watch. Attack of the 50-foot. Well, actually, I think that was supposed to be half good. But anyway, I don't know. I never saw it.
Confusing your argument there.
Yeah, well, I never saw that film. I can't speak to it. Anyway, what are we talking about? What's even happening right now?
I don't know.
This is going to be the longest news show you've ever done.
I don't know.
No, probably not. No, you probably done a pretty long one.
Yeah. We're going to talk about coloring.
Ooh, fun. Let's do that.
More importantly...
Can I do my Bubbles impression from Powerpuff Girls? Coloring!
You did now. Anyway. Okay, so... obviously, Scott Pilgrim's a big comic hit, and this weekend at Emerald City Comic Con, they announced that they're releasing deluxe colored editions of all 6 books. That's it. They're just.
I might finally buy that.
I might too, because I have this weird issue of reading things in black and white.
Well, I can read. I like reading some things in black and white. But looking at these panels, I hope you actually put some of these in the video. Looking at some of these panels, it looks better in color. It looks great.
Mm-hmm. That, and obviously, there's a link that I always put in there if I don't, but I will.
Oh, sure. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give you things to do. But anyway.
Captain Logan telling me what to do.
Yeah, man. Well, I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, I think it looks better.
No.
In color. I think it looks great.
Yes. They're going to be probably more expensive than the books because they're even at stores they're relatively cheap, like $11.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, and they're going to be hardcovers, dude.
Yeah.
How thick they are, they'll probably be anywhere from 25 to 30 a piece.
So now that I've just made everyone's wallet cry, including my own, so, Cap, there's a story you wanted to mention that we'll end off with.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to throw this out there for a second. Topps and IDW have done some Mars Attacks comics in the past. Topps, of course, is the trading card company, and IDW is IDW. They get together sometimes to do Mars Attacks books. I think they're going to start doing some more here pretty soon, and they're also going to be bringing Mars Attacks to Broadway. When I first read this, I thought it was a joke. I was like, really? You have Mars Attacks? Broadway?
This really still sounds like a joke.
It sounds like a joke, and it's not April Fool's Day yet, so I can't, or at least it wasn't when we recorded this. I really don't think that it is a joke. But anyway, so yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. But apparently, it's supposed to be called Mars Attacks 21st Century Slaughter.
Written by John Layman. Who does Chew? I think, yeah.
Yes.
He's the guy that does Chew.
So,
I'm going to fully admit this, Cap. I obviously would not talk about this because I did not know about it until you sent me the link.
Yeah, sure.
Even though did you mention it on a late night?
No, I wanted to bring it up because I meant to talk about it on late night last night, and I forgot about it. And I actually had it in my list of links to talk about and and accidentally put it in the description of the video. And I went, I didn't even talk about it in that show, so I wanted to make sure and bring it up here.
Yes. You hear that? This is just Cap backpedaling.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just thought people might think it was amusing. I love Mars Attacks.
I don't know much about it.
Oh, did you ever see the movie?
No.
Oh, man, watch it. Mars Attacks is hilarious.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, do it. It's great. It has my favorite Jack Nicholson line of all time. Jack Nicholson plays 2 roles in it. He plays the president, and he plays this Texan high roller in Vegas. And as the president, when the Martians attack and things are going really bad, he at one point he goes on TV and he says, "Well, we've still got 2 out of 3 branches of government left, and that ain't bad." It's a great movie.
That line makes it sound awesome.
It's pretty fun.
Only because you make it sound funny. When he delivers it, I bet it's amazing.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's pretty great. It's great. It was in all the trailers. I saw that in the theater when it came out. I was probably 12 or 13.
What year was this?
95 or 96.
I probably didn't even know how to use sentences back then.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm just saying.
Because Capt is older than me. In case you haven't caught on.
96. So I was 12.
I was 4 and...
What am I talking about? I'm tired. No, I was 12.
I was 2 back then.
Anyway.
So that was comic news.
That was just. I was also going to. Pierce Brosnan's in that. That was just as he was getting the role of James Bond.
Is it really jarring to realize that watching it? That he's in this movie and then he, roughly became Bond around that time?
It's a little strange, yeah. Yeah, well, what's weirder is watching Mrs. Doubtfire.
Actually, bringing back to that, I watched, on my local CW channel, after they stop airing cartoons, they usually air, a whatever crappy 90s movie they can find to fill in that time slot.
Mrs. Doubtfire?
No, they showed a kid in King Arthur's court with Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. Wow, that's why I never saw that movie.
He's a bumbling idiot in it.
That's great.
From what I only saw maybe 30 minutes because
that's hilarious.
That is very hilarious. Because I rarely watch movies then because that's one of those things where, oh God, it's noon, this movie's going, and I don't want to get up, so I'll watch whatever's on. I watch Star Trek the motion picture that way. And mind you,
commercials? That's a terrible idea.
I know.
I mean, you're gonna
I picked that up. I'm like, wait a minute, this is the movie Capt calls the motion sickness.
It's still going. It's like, yeah, well, the joke I always make is that movie would have been a lot better if they chopped off the first 6 hours.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't think that I didn't find it that grueling. They might have cut a good chunk of it off because
I bet they did.
Well, they only have a limited because I think I've seen
there's a great deal you can cut out of that movie and lose nothing.
And I think that's what they might have done because that's only a really. I think the most they usually go is 2 hours, sometimes 3.
My wife and I always make fun of that movie. You've seen Next Generation, right? You've seen some Next Gen.
Yes, I thanks to you more and more.
Okay, and you know the theme song of Next Generation, right?
Yeah.
That was the theme of motion picture. And then they used it some more in some of the later movies, but that was the theme for motion picture, and then they took it and used it in the Next Generation movie. Well, if you watch Next Generation and you've never seen motion picture, and then you watch motion picture, it's that theme song slowed down about 5 times.
It is,
and because it's been so long since there's been any Star Trek, they're making a giant deal of first seeing the ship, right? So you see the ship, and if you're a TNG fan, it makes you feel like you're moving like molasses because da 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 da. Wait for it. Da da da.
I don't know. That is funny, but one of the things I constantly kept snickering at was the scene when Kirk and Scotty are in the pod flying past the ship. And I just kind of kept laughing at how many times they keep cutting back and forth, but how Kirk and Scotty aren't talking to each other, just smiling at each other awkwardly.
Yeah.
Why isn't this thing moving faster? I don't know, sir.
I'm just imagining Shatner going, I have no idea what our motivation is for this scene. We're just sitting in a pod. All right, here we go.
Whatever, millions of dollars. I get a career. Yay. Yeah. So, back to what I usually do. Now, to get the usual stuff out of the way, you can check out me, Manos, and Cap included on Twitter, where we post things, funny things, whatever the hell we might be doing. It could be anywhere from Cap talking about watching Voyager again to me complaining about my crappy internet.
I also do 140 character comic book reviews.
Oh, yeah, that too. I don't.
You should. They're easy.
For you, yes. For me, no.
All right.
I don't know. I just reserve it for whenever I'm watching an episode of something and I riff tracks it via tweeting.
That's fun.
That is very fun. Especially some of the Stargates I find where I just find the dumbest shit to point out. There's one time, again, we're on tangents, but this is more of a fun show, it seems. There's an episode where Daniel Jackson goes insane. And Michael Shanks would later go on to play Hawkman. So when we cut to a scene of him in an insane asylum, I always keep joking that executives from the CW are about to make him sign a contract. And I've seen that episode like 3 times now. I keep going, Mr. Shanks, we're from the CW. And you know what's really funny now? Him and whoever played Lois from Smallville, they're on a show together now.
Are they really?
Yeah, it's like a weird hospital drama where he's in he's in a coma from a car accident, but his ghost is wandering the hospital.
Wow.
Whatever, it'll be on NBC. Good luck. It just doesn't scream something I'd watch, but yeah, I noticed that. I find that entertaining. But yeah, and also me and Manos are on Tumblr, where we do the same thing we do on Twitter, but in Tumblr form.
Tumblr.
I just got into that because a few of my friends said it's fun, and it can be if you're in the right mood. And you can check out this show on in podcast form via Podomatic.com, link in the description. If you use iTunes, search either Comic News with Duke and Manos or the JMC chat, since we're a part of the JMC network. And also check out that show. I usually guest star on that. I guess, Cap, you're not talking much here. You want to promote Red Knight for Manos, I guess?
Sure. Buy Red Knight. There are 3 issues out. It's a full arc. It ended beautifully, fantastically. I was very, very pleased with it. It's available now. You can go to the Red Knight Facebook page, and you can just PayPal Justin at his email address, which is brother
in the description.
Yeah, it's in the description.
Also, you can send a check via mail if you're not cool with the PayPal thing.
Yep.
Also, check out Caprice and Other Stories and the Red Knight novel on Lulu.com, which is again there as well.
Can I plug something real quick?
Please, my friend.
April on Geekvolution is Tick Month. I'm going to be doing lots and lots of things about the tick. Starting, well, actually, I don't know when this is going up, but starting probably already or very shortly thereafter. Anyway, check out Geekvolution for lots and lots of fun, interesting tick reviews, including comics, 2 superhero rewinds about both TV shows, and lots of other bizarre tick-related things that you might not even know existed. That's my plug.
Yes, indeed. I'm honestly excited for it. I loved the cartoon as a kid.
I'm hoping to educate some people about the comics because I know a lot of people haven't read them and they're really fun.
It's been a while since I've read the issue you sent me, but it was weirder than, like, compared to what I remember of the show. It was weird reading the issue you sent me.
It's super weird, yeah. And it starts off a bit rocky. It gets better and better as it goes on.
And since I have it, I might as well reread it again to get in the spirit, I guess, if that makes any sense.
Well, I'll be reviewing them mostly in trade.
Yeah, I know.
And so I won't be doing them issue to issue, but I'm just saying that I'm going to start from the beginning and go on, so that issue will be included in the first video I do.
Well, that's all of our fun to the promo things. I again like to thank Capt for bullshitting with me for over an hour.
Thanks for having me on, man. I always have a good time. It was fun.
Yes, and what lesson did we learn tonight?
We learned that drinking Cherry Coke and Mountain Dew are both a good idea, but they don't make the best suicide.
Point made. I have no idea how we came to that last part of the subject, but I think you were in Eastern Awkward Time on that one.
I was in Eastern Awkward Time. That's right.
Only 4 people will get that, and I don't care.
Yeah. I just have to throw out that was my joke.
Yes, just in case one of them claims it in the video.
Just in case anyone cares.
And knowing how behind you are on this show, you won't see those comments for like a month.
Yeah. No, that's true. I need to catch up.
I was slightly joking, but thank you for proving it. Come on, Matt. I'm just playing along. So, until next time, I'm Duke.
And I'm Captain Logan.
See you.